tell some friends. We're going to give the stream just a minute to kind of kick in, get going. We're going to let Arianthe and our favorite Shadow Chan hop in. And we're gonna discover the morning news today, guys. We're gonna figure out what the fuck is going on with the world today. This is how we do it. And I kind of like this being the theme of the higher and happy half hour. But maybe while we wait for Arianthe to roll in, we'll start with the high courts are seemingly ignoring. Hello, Shadow Chan. They have arrived. Hello, welcome to the higher and happy half hour, Shadow Chan. So this is my news program. This is where Arianthe and I run through the news. I've a new viewer here in the echo chamber that is Merc Radio. We like to kind of discover what the fuck is going on with the country, with the area we were from, with both sides of the American bipartisan machine. See what's happening. Ooh, looks like we had a school shooting happen.
Just a short time ago on the shooting in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Which,
just as this new school
real common in America, you know.
The suspect just coming in. Here's our
something you kind of see a lot, and this is just a commonality I've noticed in my lifetime. You kind of notice the school shootings ramp up when there's a Democrat president in this country. And I really think it's because the right-wing pushback, things like that. It's not because, I certainly don't think it's a conspiracy on the part of the Democratic Party, but boy, do you see a lot of it. Is that Arianthe? Is that my Robin Gibbons? Has she entered the chat?
The school immediately placed on lockdown. Terrified parents gathering nearby.
But you know, I said this when I knew Trump was leaving.
Barely able to speak.
I thought to myself, you know, when I said to special guest, a frequent on the show, I told him, you know, I bet you will see a ramp up in school shootings and kind of active violence and things like that. There's something about, ever since the era of the PMRC, it feels like to me that, you know, that party is a fan of censorship. And I feel that way about a lot of socialist nations. You know, it seems like there's a lot of content blocked for those people. Just something I've noticed, a commonality I've noticed. But, you know, that's certainly not a right-wing talking point on my part. I don't agree with either side in this situation in particular. But tragedy. Another American school shooting. That you know. Oh, a bombshell. A bombshell. Biden advised Afghan president to lie about strength of Taliban. Tell him to play it down. Hello, Arianthe.
We'll be talking about that later in the show. Kim, the Northeast is just getting ravaged by this climate
yank that real quick.
Yeah, it's really terrible. So we do want everybody to stay home, stay safe. You know, there are some reports of people losing their lives, so it's just not worth it. If you are sitting at home, you're in New York, you're in New Jersey, you're in that Northeast area, just stay home. That's what we want you guys to do today.
Yeah, don't drown if you're in the Northeast. It's apparently, okay, so yeah.
We do have a great show for you today. We do have Emily Jashinsky and Max Alvarez. They are going to be joining us to talk about that.
Judge orders an Ohio hospital to treat COVID patients with ivermectin? Are you fucking winding me up? It's dewormer. It's dewormer. Arianthe, thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So this is from NBC News. It's an article by Ben Kesslin. Ooh, hold on. Let's pause this bitch going on. Okay. Ooh, and an Ohio judge ordered a hospital to give the horse drug ivermectin to a COVID-19 patient last month despite the doctor's protest. The Butler County judge said in an August 23rd ruling that Westchester Hospital must fulfill the patient's wife's request and administer the drug prescribed to Jeffrey Smith, 51, by a doctor unaffiliated with the hospital. Ivermectin is a drug primarily used to deworm animals and has become the latest cure for COVID-19. The FDA has not approved it and actively discourages its use to treat COVID-19 in humans. I'm going to read that part one more time. The FDA has not approved it and actively discourages its use to treat COVID-19 in humans. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, really? Having record-breaking amounts of tornadoes. You know, that it really, Ida pushed a lot of fucking crazy weather in. Arianthe, it's fucking nuts how it's gone down. Julie Smith, looking for treatments to save her husband, requested the hospital administer ivermectin, which was prescribed to her husband by Fred Wagshul, an Ohio doctor who told the Ohio Capitol Journal it was akin to genocide to not use the drug in COVID-19 treatment. Westchester Hospital refused to administer the drug. The hospital declined to comment to NBC News, saying it would not speak on patient care. Yeah, HIPAA. Okay, so there's clearly a line in the sand drawn. You know, you got these fucking kind of info warrior doctors out there pushing ivermectin, which is a fucking horse dewormer. I've heard a doctor tell Papa Merck, I've heard him tell him, hey, do not put animal products in your body. Father got sick. He ate a horse antibiotic from a rural area. That's how it goes. Oh my God. That's just so fucking extra. An actual Ohio judge ordered that it go down. And you know, here's the thing. This does fall under like freedom of care and things like that. So, you know, hey, I am under the belief that if you're in a free country and you want to pay the snake oil salesman and you want to drink the snake oil and think that it fucking works, then do it. But a judge to order the use of ivermectin is fucking insane. Like, yeah, it's for fucking horses. And I don't see how a dewormer is going to clear your, like, if the reason it's working is because it's stripping your body's biomes, that's incredibly dangerous. Like, I've almost died from a few different experimental treatments for my autoimmune disease. One of them was an aggressive tetracycline antibiotic, which, you know, what the idea was, I had to bleach my skin and I had to take a tetracycline, and the idea was to kill all the biomes in my body. And you're going to use a horse product to functionally strip people tip top to toe town. I'm sure once you take that shit, you're fucking shitting liquid for 8 days straight. Probably puking like crazy. You know, it's fucking insane. Fucking insane. You can't. I understand how tough it must have been for that judge, especially if he's a judge that feels like I do about our rights in America. Freedom of care. I get that. You know, I would probably, if I was that judge, have ordered it in the same way. Like, yes, this man deserves the freedom of care that he's entitled to, but I would write him a letter and say, look, man, just as an educated old professional, as a judge, I think you're a goddamn idiot. You really should not put that in your body. Like, I don't get a check from some kind of Zionist conspiracy. I don't get a check from, you know, any party, any political party. I'm a judge who's just man to man telling you, Don't put stupid animal products in your body. But wow, you know, takes me back, man, as someone that gave tours in a Victorian town that harbored a fucking doctor that swore that water and crushed watermelon seeds cured cancer. Yeah, 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 yeah. When you're scared, yeah. They should be okay. So yeah, Hippocratic oath. No, I get your point there. Yeah. So you know what I think giving an animal product to a human like this, despite how you feel about it, definitely. I think your point is absolutely valid. Like that is kind of a violation of the Hippocratic oath, in my opinion. I agree with that. Like absolutely, absolutely. And I feel so bad for those people that think the crushed watermelon seeds and fucking water cures cancer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, there's a there's a lot of kooky shit where we're from. Do you guys remember when the door-to-door salesman went around our area? Shadow Chan, you won't remember this. You are Bulgarian. But there's okay, so the alkalized water movement. People were going around selling these attachments for faucets. And it alkalizes water. Exactly. Don't get ordering doctors to do it. In my opinion, I think an easy compromise for this situation with the ivermectin, sorry to kind of hop from alkalized water back to ivermectin, but okay, so if we could make ivermectin, it's a horse dewormer. It's functionally over the counter, yes. I mean, if you own livestock, you can get a hold of it, or if you have a vet, I would imagine you can get a hold of it in mass. Arianthe mentioned yesterday that she's having a hard time getting a hold of some for her goats. That's a bitch, because fucking idiots are taking it. And you know, okay, so here's I already kind of see a moral issue here if you were to make it readily available and over the counter. If the high court said we're going to allow whatever companies make and release ivermectin to make it like fully capitalize it, if you will. Like, you know, it's out there like fucking Zyrtec, and if an idiot wants to take ivermectin to treat their COVID, they can go fucking buy it from whatever store chooses to fucking sell it, or order it off of Amazon, who I'm sure would sell it because it's Amazon. That's how they roll. Man, if you do that, you will have people in mass using it as if they're vaccinated, which might push an agenda to kind of like provide proof of vaccination. My only issue with a world where we could strategically end up at a need for proof of vaccination is people like me who have an autoimmune disease aren't allowed to be vaccinated yet. And I would be severely I'm already limited kind of with where I can go and what I can do. I would be even more so. I couldn't travel. I couldn't do anything. I'd be in quarantine again. Yeah, do not give to horses intended for human consumption. Do not give. Yeah, exactly. That, yeah. Yeah. People are using it in place of vaccines. See, that's why you had a hard time getting a hold of it. See, this is insane. This is, yeah, you know, I would imagine this really does sound like some southern shit. You know, I would imagine that people who genuinely think it's a good plan using ivermectin are probably suffering from hookworm. You know what I mean? Like they got that hookworm really bad, and it's fucking with the way they think. Or maybe people with severe toxoplasmosis. I have a hard time understanding the train of thought. Ooh. Damn, all the way to Tulsa. It's sold out basically in the tri-state area, in the middle of the country. So it's, you know, going to be sold out. Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Man, I bet you Kansas is going to be fucking out of it. Texas, I bet you Texas is hitting up other countries or other states for it. Man. Because, Texas probably had a surplus of something like ivermectin with as much livestock as they push. I think in situations like this, a lot about the state of Texas, who's really making some big, legal moves. Did you hear today, Arianthe? The high courts aren't going to do anything about abortion in Texas. And that blows my mind still. There's, kind of a... from Oregon. Man. Wow. Having to get it from the fucking West Coast. Yeah, I figured it would be from... If anywhere had it, it would be... past Texas Westway. Yeah, so we're going to continue on with the campaign of don't fuck in Texas. Don't blow your load in Texas, guys. Don't blow your load in Texas. It's not fucking worth it. It'll make you have a baby. It's not fucking worth it. All right. I kind of have, just real quick, to hop over, we're at the halfway mark of the show. And normally in the half hour, I do like to hop over to the other side of politics, right? I like to hop over to the crazy fucks. And while we're talking about ivermectin and crazy fucks, I really feel like it's a good time to maybe talk about Owen Schroyer from the InfoWars channel. Ooh, yeah. We're going to be putting this up next, girl. Ooh, I got you. Here's what's going on. Owen Schroyer, he's a frequent commentator, co-host, and sometimes full-on host now. He would appear to be Alex Jones's protege, right? He discovered he had a warrant out for his arrest while he was fucking doing the news, on InfoWars. He discovered he had a fucking... Let's see, Owen Schroyer warrant. Let's see here what we got.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this happened.
A couple hours ago, I was informed.
This is Owen Schroyer.
Attorney, that there is a warrant out for my arrest. With allegations.
As you see, he's starting to even look like Alex Jones, but with an Abe Lincoln beard. He's genuinely Alex Jones' protege. There he is at the InfoWars desk. And yeah, he discovered it's Monday morning that he has a fucking warrant out for his arrest for his involvement in the January 6th attempted insurrection. Yeah, this kid's crazy. He's junior. He's Alex Jones Jr. And, he gives off this almost, he was probably the trench coat kid in whatever high school he went to. He was probably kind of a weird, spurgy one, kept to himself. Alex Jones definitely gave this kid confidence. I remember years ago, Owen Schroyer kind of being a behind the scenes, just a zealous yes man. He seemed like a zealous follower of Alex Jones. He's the kind of idiot that would fly coach to a riot and sink his trust fund into a fucking felony charge. That seems like that's how that goes. And so yeah, I don't even feel like we should go to the InfoWars channel today. There's really no fucking point, but it's really because they're probably just selling vitamins right now. And Owen Schroyer, I'm going to keep up with that story because I want to know what his involvement was with the attempted insurrection. I do remember Alex Jones was at that rally that Trump was at, and where Trump told people to fucking march to the White House is shut that bitch down. Boy, did it look like Andrew Jackson's inauguration party. I don't know if anyone's ever seen if you've ever seen the portraits made of Andrew Jackson's inauguration. But just a real quick history, take you down some U.S. history real quick. Andrew Jackson had an inauguration party so fucking crazy, it was functionally a drunken riot. here's a photo, just to show you the amount of people that showed up. He had to petition Congress for more money to renovate the White House because he fucking wrecked it. It smelled like cheese and meat and wine, and people had fucking, Andrew Jackson was a horrible fucking, he was a crazy fucking president. A horrible person, crazy president, survived getting shot. Fucking, he's like an alternate universe evil president, as opposed to someone like, he was a massive piece of shit. Special guest, my frequent co-host of the show Echo Chamber, he's he wants to get a bird and teach it to say curse words and name it Andrew Jackson, call it Old Hickory, which I think is a hilarious idea. That'd be a great fucking bird to have, This, but yeah, that insurrection reminded me more of like the accounts of Andrew Jackson's inauguration party, where it's like people, his frat showed up in mass, and they fucking destroyed shit. Just destroyed shit. That's all right. Let's check this out. Louisiana man presumed dead in Ida floodwater. Alligator attack survived. Whoa. He survived. Hold on. Whoa, Louisiana. Are you fucking kidding me? After an alligator attacked him in the floodwaters. Oh my gosh, Arianthe. Holy shit. There's another oh, yeah. Okay, so I've been saying this for a minute. Like, when you see biblical plague animals showing up in an area, like I saw footage not that long ago from Florida of a goddamn, like a little caiman, fucking like alligator slithering into a fucking drain in the middle of the suburbs in Florida. Man, nah, fuck that. Look, I'm Jewish. I'm not going places where there's biblical plague shit, where there's floods and fucking giant monsters eating you in the floods. Like, not to sound crazy, but I'm from the South and we stay away from that kind of hoogie gook. I don't do that. Like, well, I'm not from that kind of South. I'm not from the swampy South. I'm from the heartland. More hillbilly. This redneck shit, I can't do that. I don't roll there. Katrina survivors. They survived Ida and then got fucking killed by an alligator in floodwaters. Oh my gosh. That headline doesn't even know how to unpack it. It's like, Louisiana man presumed dead in Ida floodwater alligator attack survived Hurricane Katrina, officials say. Like, they're like, we don't even know how to fucking hashtag this one. Holy shit. In Appalachian monsters, hey, particularly where Arianthe's been chilling, there's like the skunk ape and shit where we're from. We got some cryptozoological shit, that right? Hashtag fuck you is the title. That basically is the title of this article. Like, this article doesn't know where it's like what it wants to be. It's like an alligator, he survived Katrina. Fucking read it, bitches. Like, but yeah, Arianthe, you and Ash, we gotta do our own, like, I don't know, cryptozoological or ghost podcast or something. You need to, I don't know, maybe we should do something where you educate me on some ookie gooks. Ooh, out to hunt. Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, because look, here's the thing. I'm convinced at some point if they find a Bigfoot, it's gonna be around where we're from. Like if they find like a skunk ape or like a big fucking primate. 'Cause look, they told when I was young, Arkansas, the state we're from, used to say as a state. Yeah, Ozark Obscura. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well, fuck. I think you've got the idea. We gotta fucking roll it out. We gotta roll this show out. I like that idea a lot. Totally down to produce that too. If you don't want to, ooh, that's a good idea. There's so much weird shit in our area. Like, if you're gonna find a big primate, you're probably gonna find it there. Oh yeah, back to the point. When I was a kid, they said black panthers weren't a thing in the woods there. Arianthe, I'm sure you've seen a black panther out in the Ozarks. Like, they're there. Like, there's these big black fucking cats. And hey, you found your co-host. I'm down. Even if we gotta telestream it somehow. Use the future of VHS technology. Yeah, I bet you have a monkey. Yeah, you're one of many people who fucking caught these big black cats on game cam. They're fucking real. I don't care what Arkansas says. Like, we've all seen them. We know they're there. Fuck that ookie gook shit, man. And okay, look. If you're watching this and you're unfamiliar with the gar, the alligator gar fish, I've seen some gar that I swear would set a world record. Like, it's some fucking... In Beaver Lake, I've seen some, like, river monsters shit. Like, could probably eat an alligator. Like, I don't, like, I've seen some big-ass gar that don't make sense. Yeah, mountain lions. No, there are mountain lions there, especially the particular forest you're near. There's mountain lions in there. Almost like you're in the Pacific Northwest, there's mountain lions. And you'll see some big nut swinging males just come out of nowhere. Yeah, I bet, yeah, mountain lions, man, where Arianthe's at, she has to deal particularly with what I call the skunk ape. His Bigfoot, but he's stinky. That's how I describe him. Arianthe probably have a better set of words, See? Yeah. See, Arianthe saw one in her kayak. Yep. There's, had one pass her kayak. Sorry, not dear. 100% have a skunk ape. Yeah, no, you definitely do. That story your husband was telling, the story, yeah, that area you guys are in, I've heard them out there. Like, the story you told, like, fits up exactly with some shit I've seen happen out there. Particularly toward that old Victorian town area. Ooh, boy, that gets spooky. There's some energy out there, too. Like, there's a bunch of natural crystals, and, I need yeah, we'll have to find a way to start getting you on a video stream and audio and stuff, Arianthe. We'll just have to get us full on. I'll be a co-host for that. We'll get it rolling, I think. A good idea. Ooh, why? Like, why? You'll tell me why. Like, why do you think the Game and Fish won't admit the existence of those animals, or why you think that you got that skunk ape in your yard? Because I know you got that skunk ape in your yard. Ooh, ooh, that's not a bad idea. Oh yeah, no. What do you think? Yeah, it's so paranormally active there. I was a skeptical kid at one point in my life, and that area made me kind of reconsider a lot about the nature of the universe. Seen some spooky stuff, but no, absolutely, Arianthe. Roll on with it. Roll on with it. Sorry to make you type. We're gonna get an audio set up for the Higher and Happy half hour at some point where you can call in or something if you're free to. If typing's better for you, that's fine. But ooh, I like being your co-host. I like you being my co-host. I'm a morning Robin Gibbons, guys. We're gonna roll a little bit past a half hour today with the half hour.
A couple hours ago.
But you know, Okay, hold up. Did Owen Schroyer, was he in the fucking halls of...
host
He
Owen
went to the thing. He
Schroyer
went deeper than Jones did during the
facing
insurrection.
charges in connection.
Oh yeah, back to the Ozarks real quick. So we have massive deposits of sandstone here. Some scientists and most paranormal investigators believe that water rushing over limestone creates energy. Ooh, I believed by those in the community that spirits need energy to manifest. There are 72 named springs in the area. Ooh, yes. Ooh, I like this. Absolutely, Arianthe. No, yeah. Okay. Rushing over the limestone and creating energy. Yeah. Yeah. And that, hey, so, okay. I like this. You know, I think a lot about what time does to our perception of us as beings. If you take time away, I would look like a worm, worming and rooting through this apartment, you know? Yeah, it really is an all-you-can-eat buffet for the otherworldly. It's fucking nuts. Things are just drawn there too. It seems like like mountain lions. The fuck, um, interesting fucking place. But so but I think a lot about like what we look like if you take time away. You know, so we look like fucking worms. You know, like worming throughout our existence. We start tiny, we get bigger, and then we get small. Right? What if in these areas where we have this energy, right? This energy kind of just manifesting naturally. What is it? What is energy? You know, it's putting mass. It's putting an actual quantifiable mass out into the universe from that area. Maybe it's creating some kind of field and we're catching images of worms that used to be there or worms that are still technically there because time, we don't necessarily know what time is, an unquantifiable abstract. So, you know, maybe maybe I think you're onto something there. It's energy messing with our perception of time, maybe. Or maybe these, you know, I've had things reach out to me, seem sentient and in the moment, where it's like they know they're not an existing presence anymore, which kind of puts off my, we're seeing things from the past, but there are accounts of people just seeing scenes from the past, you know. Geologists in the area in 1972, and they found that this area put off the same energy as like the Bermuda Triangle and Stonehenge. Yeah, no, absolutely, that area. But yeah, no, it does, and it's a place where you can water witch really easy. If anyone's familiar with the process of water witching, you know, you put the rods in your hands and they'll find water. You know, it's great. It's an fucking magical place, honestly. It's just I genuinely think it'll be, you know, they've been saying since I was a kid that the area we're from will be a metropolis by the time I would be this age, and it's not quite a metropolis yet. I bet you it will be one day. Just places with energy like that, they draw people. You know, Stonehenge, that's one of the biggest tourist draws of the British Isles, you know. See, exactly. See, that's why I'm thinking, you know, maybe some things are from at a time, but I've had experiences, yeah, where things are come up and talk to you. Like it seems like they're almost like a DMT trip. You know, I've done a lot of dimethyltryptamine. And when you do dimethyltryptamine, what makes it different than other hallucinogens is you have these persistent hallucinations. So like, you know, one time I took DMT and I out of the corner of a room, a little clockwork man came out, right? And he's dancing, he's partying, he's having a good time, he's feeling the vibe, I'm having a good time. I turn around and I well expect clockwork man that I thought was just a quick little hallucination would be gone when I turned back around. I turn back around, clockwork man is still there and he starts interacting with me. I've never felt more crazy, but that's about as close as I can explain, like, kind of how people like you, Arianthe, who maybe are sensitive to things like that, who get these almost ghosty, you know, they have interactions with ghosts, they have interactions with people who've passed on. Absolutely. Like, I think maybe some people too, because of, there's a lot of things inside of a human body that put off a field. Everybody feels the intrinsic field, and Arianthe and I have talked about it before. When you can just kind of feel someone's intrinsic field behind you, you just feel somebody. You feel them around you. Women shouldn't walk alone at night. He walked me to my car and fizzled out like static. Yeah, you had a ghost protect you. See, I think it's just a theory I have on people who are sensitive to things like that, experience things like Arianthe do. There's again a lot in a body that creates an energy field, much like the area we're from with those natural springs running over the limestone. You have, you have neurons. You have actual electrical current running through you, and if this is what maybe affects or draw those things like moths to a light, that would be, if there's anything inside of a human, I would imagine that's what it is the uniqueness of the way you run is like a light to a moth to them, if that makes sense. You have an intrinsic field that maybe draws them in. I've definitely met people who just my vibe, my general feeling about them is uh like bad. Like you don't want to be around people, really just a gut reaction off of their intrinsic field. You know what I mean? I bet you they're not experiencing ghosts like you are. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, there's a lot of stigma behind a lot of words, and I'll talk a lot of smack on a lot of woo woo stuff in the world. But hey, I'm an open minded person, and I genuinely believe. I'm a person that believes if there's two sides to every story, the truth is in the middle. Every time. I'm a kid that grew up watching Unsolved Mysteries and In Search of, that Ripley's Believer, that fact or fiction with Riker. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is always somewhere in the middle. We've seen so many things. Now we have a government coming out about UFOs, which I have a whole theory on that. I've become kind of a cynical old fuck when it comes to space. But yeah, maybe we'll just have to start slowly accruing more of this kind of time together, area. This is nice. Yeah, no one fucking cares. Yeah, the government just fucking admitted in the United States that there's UFOs and we don't know what the fuck they are. We don't know what the fuck they're doing. We don't know who made them. We don't know what their purpose is. We just know that there are UFOs and we have them on camera. So if you see more of them, hey, that's a thing we know about. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's almost like they said, hey, quit calling us about it. We know and we hate it. And the fuck? The fuck? Like, you know, it could be so much different, so many different things. Again, just real quick to kind of like before I round out this chunk of the stream, I'm probably gonna come back on stream. I don't have shit going on today. I'm gonna probably grab a bite and then pop back on here in less than a half hour. But there's okay, I said the other night, we send a lot of our tax dollars as Americans into space. We don't know what the fuck is up there. Ooh, you're going camping. Ooh, it's perfect. It's a perfect time for it, honestly. The weather's, it's that, ooh, you get that, in the Ozarks in the fall. Ooh, the beginning of the fall. Get that early September camping. Yeah. That's a good time right there. That water's just cold enough that it keeps that little bit of heat you get during the day. Yeah, buddy. We're just starting to get some beautiful weather where I'm at here in the desert. It's finally getting like fall beautiful. Don't get me wrong, like it's not bad. It's weird having all these students back. This is the largest at the university I'm near. It's the largest freshman class they've ever had in history. And Some of these freshmen look like they definitely have HPV. What's on the planet? Yeah, exactly. Probably because we're murdering the planet. Yeah, that's probably exactly what's going on. But yeah, that was kind of my point. Is we haven't explored all of the planet yet. Why do we keep sending our tax dollars into space? There's no fucking point. Like, let's figure out what's going on with the ocean. Here's the thing: the technology you would need to achieve what these UFOs achieve, to be able to travel seamlessly throughout different atmospheres, is what we're observing, right? Again, what I'd like to point out before I continue is that over 90% of these UFO accounts happen over a body of water or coming in or out of a body of water, normally the ocean. So again, that's just another example of traveling through atmospheres, any atmosphere, seamlessly. Logic would dictate that those machines, their origin, if it is alien, is not from space, it's from the fucking ocean. That's just math. I'm just saying. Like, they would have to, we don't know what's down there. We speculate, we think we know, then every time we have a plane over the fucking ocean or an organized fucking light drill with our jets, we see fucking lights coming in and out of them. Atlanteans, exactly. There's something under there. Maybe it's a breakaway civilization ran by the Illuminati. Who knows? I'm just saying it's probably not spacemen. If it is spacemen, they're far more interested in the ocean than they are us. Which again makes my curiosity like exponentially increased. Like, what the fuck is down there? If those are from space and they're more interested in the ocean than us, what the fuck are they looking at? What's down there? Why are we sending our fucking tax dollars into space? It could be fucking. Every day it feels like we see a new photo of some of these deep sea creatures. We can get deeper and deeper. Hello, Shadow. Welcome back, Shadow Chan, my favorite Bulgarian Arianthe. Unfortunately, Shadow, we're about to probably roll up. I'm probably about to roll up out of this stream. I wanted to rant a little bit, but yeah, back to aliens, man. There's the likelihood of there being alien life it's out there. It's there. Hey, I believe that. Hey, look, okay, so Atlantis, right? That's a fascinating, like, I kind of have a theory about Atlantis. So the Basque people, we don't have a geological, like a definitive geological point for where they're from, right? The Basque. So it's been speculated by people far more educated than me that the Basque are from the Eye of the Sahara. Now, the Basque call their homeland Atlantico. And it is speculated that inside of the Eye of the Sahara, that's actually irrigation lines, and that eye, that circular shape, that was Atlantis, that's Atlantico. That's where potentially the Basque come from. So if you have any Basque ancestry or any of that interesting Basque blood, very, very well might be, Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, things like that, the Exodus from Atlantis, the destruction of Atlantis. Yes, absolutely. The I think Atlantis might have been. It's just my personal opinion that it was that the Eye of the Sahara was Atlantis, and that at one point that completely submerged and then dried out into desert. Time can do pretty interesting things to chunks of land and water, but we find new cities that are completely submerged all the time. And New York is technically at, like, it's under sea level now. Like, the Ida came in and pushed enough water that homes throughout New York and New Jersey, their basement levels and their bottom floor levels of their homes it's water. It's the sea now. It's a dangerous thing. Interesting that it's causing this much water. Yeah, so New Zealand has an entire, yeah, see, exactly. There's, well, and, we found what? Big chunk of Alexandria fucking sank. Was it Alexandria? We found a place, we found an Egyptian built city, built by Egyptians, Egyptian ruled city, underwater. And that's totally, totally something that can. Oh no. Let's check this out real quick. Because it's dangerous times out there for these fucking. What do we got? Map revealed new details about New Zealand lost underwater continent. Oh shit! They had a whole There was a whole subcontinent. Okay. Oh shit. Zealandia. I like it. Okay, so the tectonic plates shifting is why they speculate that it sank. But yeah, it was its own continent. Wow, the amount of culture, the amount of things that were lost. I think a lot about preservation of I think a lot about the preservation of society, culture, things like that. My meditations on that subject normally bring me back to the Library of Alexandria and how I just pray that we find a fucking stash of scrolls that somebody thought to fucking bury before they burned it. At one point we had a speculated to have a whole record of what life was before Alexandria was burnt, and then burn the fucking library down. Who knows what could have been on that continent? Who knows what their culture was? Yeah, oh, my curiosity is piqued 100%. We gotta keep I'll put a little pin on this. I'll follow this story, see if anything comes out. We might be old fucks by the time. Might be doing whatever the future form of texting is to you when we're 60. Like, did you hear? They found a pottery in New Zealand's subcontinent is a lot like Egyptian pottery. But we'll follow this one. It's interesting as hell. That's New Zealand's native population, Australia's native population. I've wondered, is it incredibly hard just to get to Australia? You know what I mean? Like, and then when you get there, it's like the deadliest island ever fucking, like, in all of creation. The older and higher podcast to talk about it. That's a good idea. We're picked up by NBC. We cover Howard Stern's Old Slaw. We're like, hey, we gotta deal with serial killers calling in like Howard Stern. I might have to have you as a co-host for that. I'd like to cover and pick apart the Howard Stern serial killer call sometime. That's something that it's been on my mind a lot. There's a lot that you can almost pick apart from that person in the way that they talk and things like that. There's like little cadences and little things in their speech that you can really deduce a lot about that person who's calling. And I don't think they're full of shit, that Howard Stern call. It was submitted to the FBI. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll crack it out. This weekend, I'm gonna start. We got a new podcast starting. Me and special guests. It's called The Tattered Map, and it's special guests show. He's got a whole cork board of a conspiracy kind of figured out, and we're gonna run through his cork board. He's gonna explain to me kind of the history of this kind of cult situation. This is basically going to be, this is kind of the spin-off of that cults, the half-hour cult hour I made. And I think I'm gonna stream it live, and then we're gonna keep it mirrored up on YouTube, kind of like we do this, you know. But it's, you know, I'm very excited about that podcast. You know, special guest. If you haven't noticed, I refer to special. That's special guest pseudonym. His full name is Specialist Guestifer. So it can get a little confusing when I say with special guest, but that's his name. His name is Specialist Guestifer. But yeah, that, who knows what could have been on this little New Zealander subcontinent. I'm fascinated. I gotta know. I gots to know, baby. I wish I could go down there. I know you probably feel the same way I do, Arianthe, where it's like, I just wish I could just swim up in that bitch and just figure out what the fuck life was like for them, or just even just see what the layout of their, you know. Yeah, just need to go and know that, what were their roads like? What were their cities like? I know so little about Aboriginal Australians or Native New Zealanders. I know a bit about Native New Zealanders and Australians, you know, from popular culture. And I know about the atrocities that the Aborigines in the Aboriginals in Australia face by their prison complex. The prisons are accommodating and abusive at the same time to the Aborigines there. It's like they find a reason to arrest Aboriginal population and then you know, give them tribal time and space, but it's fucking prison. Like, yeah, give him a chit chat. See what it, you know, especially if it's New Zealand. I'd love to know if they have any stories of, like, we used to have a big land and it sank. Like, I know literally almost nothing about it. We probably start a deep dive on New Zealand for me, because I am fascinated. I can't wait for the Ancient Aliens on it, where they speculate that aliens sunk it somehow. That's my favorite shit in the world. History Channel has just become fucking kind of garbage. Yeah, I want the lore. Yeah, I want to know particularly, like, what, you know, where they, I don't know, you know, Easter Island, things like that. I want to know what they thought, what their art was like, if they had music, what it was like. I went to the Museum of Musical Instruments not that long ago, and they had a full Africa exhibit, like where they run through tribal African dress and instruments. And it's just, I love that. I love that you really see a lot about a culture through their art and their music, in my opinion. And that was really another big reason I wanted to kind of have a YouTube channel. I wanted to maybe do things like cover Chris Chan as an artist, not talk about him fucking his mom, but then he fucked his mom. Oh, heck yeah. No, music and art, you know, that's a big advocate. That's a big part of my life. Advocating for the arts, for sure, you know. And I'd love to know what the hell New Zealand had going on in this sank continent. I don't know why the hell that's not bigger news. Honestly, like, or why my algorithm didn't give it to me, because I'm exactly the kind of nerd that would want to read this shit. Oh my gosh, CNN, with your stupid fucking IBM ad. I get it, IBM. I'm just trying to keep your fucking headline up. But yeah, there's bass players aren't musicians. Oh, I would be upset too. No, as a somebody who's, I've made money playing bass. I've gigged, man. Hell yeah, it's being a musician. I had some training before I was a bass player, but where I cut my teeth as a performer, as someone who likes music everywhere, like that was my weapon of choice in the martial art that is musicianship. Was a bass guitar for a long time, and yeah, I would say anybody who says that, I try to show them someone like Victor Wooten, the bass player Victor Wooten, where it's like, look, bitch, nah, like bass, the bass guitar is indeed a musical instrument. Michael Mandering at them, hell yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, really, you can throw damn near any bass player but Gene Simmons. People would be like, wait, he plays the bass? It's like, yeah, he's the bass player in Kiss, but people don't really remember it. I've pulled people into the bass train talking about Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If it's an old honky, you can kind of tell that old cracker, hey man, about Flea, Red Hot Chili Peppers, bitch. How about that? They're like, oh yeah, bass, slap bass. Yeah, bitch, slap bass. It's a fucking instrument with its own innovations and styles of playing, and it's the fucking best. Oh yeah, music today being trash. I see people all the time get hung up on, and I do it to myself, where I get hung up on something from the past or a fad of old and don't embrace anything new. And I feel like as an artist, you really do have to embrace the new. You have to change with the times in a way, and you need to pay attention to new trends. You need to listen to those things. You need to find enjoyment in them. And Matsumoto Miyashi says, to know something broadly is to see it in all things. And if you are truly a fan of music as an art form, there's no genre that's off limits for you. There shouldn't be. You shouldn't limit yourself that way. That would be that's doing yourself an incredible disservice, and I feel bad for people that are stuck in that hole. Normally it's a hole they're stuck in. They're like, I like this. I like 2 Pantera records. Yeah, the nostalgic feel. I've made a pretty good dime off of ape and nostalgia for sure. For sure. Oh, things are just good. He'd use Da Vinci as an example. Yeah. Using Da Vinci as an example, that's a fucking cop out too. That's somebody who's not a music fan, I would imagine. Like, not genuinely somebody who I would consider like a music fan. Like, if you're not absorbing and new stuff, you're not a fan of the art form, you're a fan of a period of time. Or that we find it revolutionary. And here's the thing. Art changes. Revolutions, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It doesn't always mean, revolutionary doesn't always mean good. It could be that something is new. Absolutely. If you were to take, any classical definition, if you were to quantize music in any form, the origins, the first punk rock groups would be considered bad music. Yes, I think we can all agree that by a classical quantification of music as an art form, if we were to break it down and chop it into bits and make it a math, which classically, you have sheet music, punk rock, particularly where it started, is some of the most dumbed down, poorly produced music ever committed to record. But as a punk rock fan, it's good. It's revolutionary. It's yeah, absolutely. That's where the feeling of it. This is yeah. So there's active listeners, Arianthe, in my opinion, who can absorb things. Like, they notice they'll listen to the whole record. Some people, I'm a whole record person. I like to sit down and listen to the whole record, get the experience as the artist intended it. I like to pull up the cover art because I'm a vinyl person, so I wish I could have it in my hands most of the time, and look at it. I like that experience. But, yeah, 80s music came on a revolution, and yep, okay, so let's maybe tie a line between punk rock happening and music that heavily features early synthesizers, because this happened around the same time. The birth of new wave, things like Devo. If you were to break it, Dave, you were to quantify them down, sheet music, it's pretty simple. Mark Mothersbaugh at his most stripped down composition wise. It's technically by the books if you were to quantify it. Early synthesizer 80s music is bad music. But a lot of people were fans of some of that stuff. That's the shit to me. Same with punk rock. I think that limiting yourself to any genre is an incredible disservice. An incredible disservice. Oh yeah, Springsteen is a tough one, because here's the thing. Springsteen was revolutionary, right? So there's a generation that remembers Bruce Springsteen in different ways. That's a multi-generational artist at this point who's built kind of a legacy, and he's been very diverse in that legacy, in my opinion. But for the most part, what he does are these big New Jersey concerts, is what I call them, where he's got the whole E Street Band and he's rocking the house, and he'll rock the house for 3 hours. It's a classic New Jersey formula. Like, people are chanting Bruce, it's, yeah. And I've known old people from New Jersey who talked about his early bar shows where he was on tables, young Bruce Springsteen on tables, paying his dues. He was a revolution in New Jersey when he first popped off, straight up. And a lot of people, that nostalgia stuck in their head. When I think about this topic, I'll be honest, the band that comes to mind, there's 2 bands that come to mind because they're functionally the same band: the Grateful Dead and Phish. Okay, I've been to multiple Grateful Dead cover band shows, like music festivals. I've been to a Phish concert. Here's what's up. I did not understand what was going on. I didn't get the music. It was not revolutionary to me. It did not stand out until I took LSD. The moment LSD got into my body and I heard that Grateful Dead hit, that Jerry Garcia solo, baby, yeah, I got it. I understood it after that. So there's also things that are seemingly popular to everybody else that people don't get, probably because of not just chemical influence, but vibe. Just general vibe. There's just some shit that people aren't going to get. They're just not going to get it. I'm a big fan of Omar Rodriguez Lopez from the Mars Volta, and I feel like, while he has a large fan base, it's kind of hard to find other people to be peers with about that. Like, nobody else is like kind of an old head about it like I am, like rushes to the new releases. Because bitch puts out a new record every fucking month, basically. Like, but, that's it's art and culture. There's so much that's potentially lost out of New Zealand, and man, I hope we get a beautiful new era of museums in New Zealand full of like sank history. Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Yeah, once you've taken a little LSD and you have that memory of having a good time at a Grateful Dead show, you can absolutely listen to it again. Like, absolutely. Like, I'll still occasionally by myself put on Tweezer or something by Phish and be like, yeah, it's a good time. But no, yeah, no. Thank you for the ramble. Oh, good to stretch the half hour into an hour today. I got nothing going on. I'm probably gonna shoot an echo chamber. I haven't really picked a topic yet. I have a list of things I want to do on Echo Chamber, but half of the time a viewer submission or something shows up and I'm like, oh, well, I'll do that instead. And, Anybody, if you're watching this or you catch it mirrored onto YouTube or mirrored onto Facebook if it didn't get pulled for having fucking news footage in it, feel free to comment suggestions for any of my other show, like Echo Chamber. You know, it's a edited YouTube show. Oh yeah. See, and I'm not gonna I probably don't stream Echo Chamber anymore. I've just been shooting it, editing it, and then premiering it onto YouTube. It's I think the format for that works a little better because then I can watch things that aren't necessarily like copyright friendly and get my raw ass opinions on them. You know, just cut out, make sure I'm hitting the. Oh, thank you so much. It's kind of been my baby. I want it to actually be a big shit show of an actual little program. I know I have a plan for season 2, and I've got hopefully another. I want to end the season of Echo Chamber with a goddamn music video showdown, like another Facebook music video showdown. I want to bring our returning champ, Mr. CR. It's a rapper we found. If you're watching this and you don't already follow Mr. CR, check him out. He's got some pretty banger tracks. His older stuff's, you know, not quite as good as his new shit, but boy, Mr. CR has a very good new record out. And specialist Guestifer and I really put those music videos through the ringer. Like, we preheat the oven and we'll roast the shit out of somebody. And Mr. CR made it through like 2 rounds of fucking the music video showdown. He's so good. So good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a Los Angeles native. Shout out Los Angeles County rappers. I'm not from there. Been through there. You guys got really good Mexican food and Chinese food. All right. Oh, I say it's time to go. I don't know, guys. Let's go show the world what the fuck we're made of, you know. I'm gonna take this out. Oh yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do a tell us something. Yeah, we gotta get it. I'm gonna shoot you a Facebook message, Ari Anthony. We're gonna get this crack-a-lackin'. I like the idea of I like having a co-host. I like doing a stream with somebody. I don't like doing them alone. I mean, I don't mind. I feel like I like having someone to rant at, in particular, someone to bounce ideas off of. Who better than one of my favorite and one of my oldest friends. But I love all of you guys. Forehead kisses for the weeaboos. You know how it goes. I don't know why that's become my go-to outro. It's not COVID. Yeah, let's fuck it up, kids. Let's fucking tear the world up. I guess it's forehead kisses weeaboos is better than you know, suck dick, eat ass, and sell drugs. Don't do that, kids. don't do any of those 3. I mean, if you like eating ass, that's up to you. Don't make sure it's someone of a consenting age. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll see you around the corner. Naruto run at your goals. Yes. No, I'm going out